Let's get insights from Jonathan De Santos, Chairman of the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines. Good morning, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for inviting me this morning.
All right, Jonathan, ito tayo, no? I think if you've seen the other reports, of course, si Nicholas Kaufman, Attorney Kaufman, is drumming the same beat as the former president was during his term, blaming media for the president's predicaments. No? Ano ang niyo dito? Reaction?
Oo, no, actually, parang throwback nga ito to 10 years ago, 9 years ago, no? Na basically what they're saying is we're missing the context or basically we're making it up or sensationalizing, no? Pero kung titingnan naman natin, it really is sensational na may mga pinapatay na supposed drug personalities without trial, without benefit of formal charges, no? Nakaka-shock naman talaga yun, ano? And if you look back on the reporting, I don't think anyone ever said na labas ito sa konteksto ng war on drugs or na yung mga napatay ay nasa labas ng konteksto ng anti-drug operations, no? May isa pang pinoint out kahapon na supposedly yung photographs daw were crafted, no?
Yes.
Napakalaking insulto rin nun to our photojournalists, no? Syempre, it speaks to their skill na striking yung photos nila, but they're bound by very strict ethical guidelines then, no? Na they can't stage photographs. Sometimes they can't even edit, para at most lighting lang or crops lang, no? So these are very real. These are true records of what they saw. And ang unfair to be saying that, no? Ang actual scandal dito or actual dapat na kumbaga kinakatakutan natin dito or kinakagulat natin dito ay yung mga pinatay, hindi yung supposed slant or supposed na yun nga angles, no?
Yeah, supposedly, no, kasi ang nangyayari, ang reaction ng iba, I don't know if you agree, no, na parang instead of answering or defending his client, he's merely redirecting fault to another group, which is media, no? Nagulat na ba kayo that they did this or are you expecting this?
Unexpected siya. Well, of course, hindi naman tayo abogado, no? But unexpected that on such a parang grand stage or such an important stage, ay ganun yung arguments na ibibigay nila. Hindi nakakagulat in the sense na naramdaman na natin to eh. Nakita na natin to nangyari before. And tignan din naman natin, hindi naman din siguro simpleng tao yung mga nasa ICC. Let's say, or let's grant na some of the headlines may have been let's say sensational, some of the headlines may have been shocking. That's part of the business of news sometimes.
Yeah.
No? Pero hindi naman, kumbaga, they're not limited to just the headlines. They're not limited to just, like, let's say, captions on Facebook, no? At hindi na naman limited to news reports, yung evidence ng prosecution, I suppose.
Jonathan, siguro tanong na lang din natin, since 10 years ago, itong parang deflecting na pagsasalita ng dating Pangulo is well observed din ngayon sa defense. Do you think paano ito maapektuhan ngayon yung pag-field work, especially ng mga photojournalists moving forward?
Well, ever since naman, since sumikat yung, kunyari, yung pieta ni Raffy Lerma, no? Under threat talaga sila. There were times na ayaw sila kausapin, ayaw silang ayaw humarap sa kanila, no? Or sometimes there were actual threats for them to leave the area. At tuloy-tuloy naman ito, no? In fact, yung defense or yung kumbaga yung argument that media is just skewing the news in favor of something or against, let's say, the government, yung narrative naman yan ay tuloy-tuloy pa rin. So, let's call it siguro a legacy of the previous administration na tuloy-tuloy pa rin ngayon, where news that is seen as critical or news that is seen as unflattering is automatically labeled as kunyari may karga or may agenda, when more often than not, wala naman talaga.
Yeah. Pero yung mga attacks na mga on the Duterte side towards media is not also limited to yung sa court or sa television claims. It's very rampant also on social media, no? What is your group doing to at least possibly counter all these supposedly online troll, misinformation, disinformation, and bashing?
As an organization, we document itong mga threats, lalo na if it's a death threat or if it's a threat of physical harm, no? But I think also in the past decade, natuto na rin yung media workers, yung reporters, social media producers, na i-handle ito in some way. Minsan, ini-ignore na lang or dinadocument, no? Pero yun nga, it's a good point na hindi lang physical trauma, hindi lang yung physical safety yung at risk dito, even yung mental health ng mga reporters, even yung mental health ng mga, lalo na yung social media people, no,
Yes,
na they have to sift through all these comments. Yun, it's very troubling din for democracy and discourse na ganito na lang kadali, let's say, denigrate ng isang profession or magbigay ng online abuse against specific people.
You mentioned kanina mental health ng mga journalists na based on your group and how you interacted with them, may naririnig ka ba na a lot of them are just scared to do their job properly or just to tell the truth because of fear of backlash from one side?
Nakita naman natin to also during the third administration, ano. It's a fear and parang it's a continuing concern na parang if I go through with this story, if I come out with this story, ano ang balik sa akin, ano ang balik sa mga kasama ko, no? But I think for the most part, naiigpawan naman natin to, nalalagpasan naman ng journalists ito. But of course, we have to be more careful talaga. Kasi nga, pag binanggit ka, kunyari, binanggit yung network mo or binanggit ka by name, no? It's hard to say na walang, let's say, fanatic or someone who parang mamumove talaga siya to hurt you or to physically threaten you, no? So that's always been something that we have been wary of.
Jonathan, how do you respond naman sa claims na sinasabing salacious content lang daw, there's an ignorance of broader context, and ang sinasabi nga dito nila Kaufman, taken out of context daw itong mga pronouncements ni former President Duterte?
Oo, no? Again, it's a throwback to the previous administration. Na ganyan talaga yung defense, no? Pero kasi kung titingnan natin, most of the reporting actually goes into more, mas contextual siya. It's a broader context actually. Kasi usually, kung titingnan natin yung case kunyari ni Kian, yung case ni Carl, yung ni Kulot, usually ang defense dyan was, they're actually involved in drugs. Initially, ganun yung mga defense, no? And then through media reports, through more digging, lumalabas na, actually, pinatay pala sila summarily, no? So, and all of these reports are in the context of people being killed without due process, without even being charged in court. So, I think yun yung context rather than a very sweeping statement na lahat itong libong itong na namatay ay dahil nanlaban sila, no? Parang napaka-unlikely naman, no, na all thousands of these supposed drug personalities decided na, sige, I will violently resist arrest kahit mamatay ako, no? So, ayun, I mean, it's their right to say that. Pero I don't think it really reflects the reality on the ground.
Yeah, I'd like to confirm lang, no, yung several key evidences ng prosecution came from media also, no? Clippings, videos, pictures. Where did they coordinate with you officially to get some of these materials, or sila na mismo took it because it's in a public space na, it's an open space?
I feel yung mga ganyang yung questions of, let's say, copyright and intellectual property would be beyond my pay grade.
Okay.
Pero I feel na marami naman nga in the public domain that they can use, and I think kahit yung mga human rights groups, possibly sila yung nagbigay din ng other evidence, no? Again, I don't think majority of the evidence is from media, no? Siguro like it's supportive lang siya of the charges or the allegations, pero I think marami ring testimonial evidence dito.
Pero I'd like to also ask, no, kamusta na in general yung security ng mga media personnel, lalo na sa hanay nyo? Dumadami ba ang threats, especially now?
Oo, constant naman kasi siya. A lot of it is actually online din. As you mentioned, yung supposed trolling or yung bashing, no?
Yeah.
Pero, for example, we have one colleague, si Regine Cabato, who has been working on, disinformation networks, no? She has been getting a lot of violent comments and violent DMs, no? So, ganito yung, I think, common experience for a lot of media workers. But at the same time, yung physical threats naman are there, but then especially for our colleagues in the community press and
Yeah.
in the alternative press, no?
Right.
If you're doing, let's say, environmental stories or development stories, may risk talaga of surveillance and harassment. And tuloy-tuloy pa rin ito. So we continue documenting these things, raising alerts when needed. So yun, ganun pa rin siya. It's still a very challenged profession. Pero I'm glad na marami pa rin sa atin ang tumutuloy despite all this.
Are we seeing any more stories related to EJK victims sa mga susunod pang buwan o taon?
If you're talking about yung mga killings in the context of drug operations, no, meron pa rin naman. There are still cases of that. Actually, meron din mga cases of parang robbery by police, no? So nakakatakot ito. And I feel, or we feel, na yung mga ganitong incidents that are still happening today, pwedeng effect ito na-embolden yung kapulisan, yung ilang kapulisan na they can do crime na walang, na hindi sila mahabla or na walang accountability. And I'm glad naman na may nahuhuli, no? It really should send the message na police kayo, you're supposed to follow the law. And na if you break the law, then you'll be caught and you'll be prosecuted for it.
And of course, at this point, I'd also like to get your reaction also on how you think this whole trial is going on. Di ba? Ano yung reaction ng grupo nyo? Are you satisfied with what you're seeing?
Siyempre, since a lot of us are working journalists, we can't really, parang wala naman kaming opinions per se on it. But siguro ang overall emotion would be we're glad that it is happening. Kasi we did document itong mga killings, we did document the drug war, no?
Yeah.
And nakita rin natin yung struggles ng families to seek justice in the Philippines. And yun nga, since they feel na they couldn't get it in the Philippines, pumunta sila sa ICC. And it took a very long time for this confirmation of charges hearing to happen. So I think for a lot of them, it feels like there is a hope for justice for their families.
Well, I think siguro any messages to other journalists out there na baka takot pang lumapit sa mga unions or sila mismo, they become secluded in their homes kasi eto na, nabubunyag na sa buong mundo and the stories they are to tell, baka gusto muna nilang itago dahil nga sa takot nila.
Oo, no. I think in our profession kasi parang medyo cowboy, medyo solo flight yung mga lakad natin. Ano?
Yeah.
But I think we have seen in the past decade na we are stronger together. Kahit yung support networks lang natin, kahit private support networks among friends, napakalaking bagay to be in community with fellow journalists. No, hindi natin kaya yung challenges that we're facing na tayo lang. Whether that's yung mental toll or the toll on our mental health or let's say security issues, no? Mas madali natin silang maharap kung sama-sama tayo. So, really, the message is to be in community with fellow journalists at sama-sama na tayong harapin tong mga ganitong challenges.
All right. Well said. And thank you for your time, Jonathan De Santos, the chairman of the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you and good morning to everyone.